Hey all you cool cats and kittens, Tom Campbell from Isolation Station 24601 here, and I know, it's not as entertaining as one of my normal hilarious mugs, but I'm drinking juice this morning, so bit boring, I know. Anyway, here's some wrestling news. Original plans for Goldberg versus The Fiend have been revealed. Also, we have the reason why Braun Strowman won the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania. And why did a top WWE star miss out on WrestleMania 36? Find out why and who in a little bit. I'm sorry to have to trudge this up from your memory, but Goldberg versus The Fiend Super Showdown. The night that The Fiend was defeated by Goldberg, and the night that Goldberg became the Universal Champion in 2019. And turns out, as we have discovered today, that whole thing was very 11th hour. Turns out that there were other ideas in place for that match, but the one that we went with was Goldberg very quickly defeating The Fiend and becoming the Universal Champion. According to a source speaking with WrestleZone, the original plan for the winner of the Bray Wyatt and Goldberg match it was up in the air until very last minute, and it was Goldberg that actually turned around and said, "I don't think I should lose to Bray Wyatt." Goldberg says he doesn't want to risk damaging his image. Now, Goldberg has said on several occasions in interviews that he feels like he is a superhero. He's a hero to young wrestling fans, and for him to lose to the monster that is The Fiend would do serious damage to that image of being a hero. So the decision was made to have Goldberg defeat The Fiend, and from what we gather, it was a very last minute decision for this to happen. Goldberg got the okay to do this because Goldberg has some creative control, not unlike the creative control that guys like Hogan had in WCW in the late 90s, and probably a few top WWE guys have now. Let's just say that. But Goldberg was the one that said, actually, I'm going to use my creative control card here. I don't think I should lose to The Fiend. I think this is probably how it should go down. So the match with Goldberg and Bray Wyatt was purposed so that Goldberg looked strong, and it was a softer landing for The Fiend, really, because he looked somewhat dominant at points and then was up at the end and disappeared, so it wasn't like he was trounced and left laying. But even so, it was one of those pivotal moments where the mystique of The Fiend was destroyed to a lot of people. And it's been a funny old year. It's coming up to the year anniversary, I believe, quote me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this week is the year anniversary of the debut of Firefly Funhouse. So in that 12 months, we have seen some all over the shop booking when it comes to The Fiend and Bray Wyatt, but the one thing that has been clear throughout is that The Fiend is a dominant character, and it was probably the weakest that we'd ever seen him, getting beaten up by Goldberg in such quick manner at Super Showdown. The argument will remain forever whether or not you should have put the belt on The Fiend in the first place, because it's whether or not he needs it. Like, he doesn't need to be the WWE champion. It's just like an accoutrement to what he does. As for Goldberg's behaviour for it, it's a shame. It's kind of poor form on Goldberg's part, but it's what he believes, and we kind of thought we would be getting Goldberg versus Roman Reigns out of this, and that didn't transpire either. But we did get the Firefly Funhouse match out of this. So in hindsight, I can't be massively cross. Staying with Goldberg, you may have noticed that at WrestleMania 36, some of the aura that he had about him being a hero was lost when he was crushed by a monster. That can't be good for Goldberg's character. He's meant to be seen as a hero to kids. Just going to take my tongue out of my cheek. Does it say it? There we go. So Braun Strowman defeating Goldberg, well, the Universal Championship was a decision that was made, again, because of Goldberg. So initially, we understand, and some of this comes from Wrestle Talk, that the plan was going to be that Roman Reigns and Goldberg were going to not have the match at WrestleMania, because obviously Roman's not a part of it, but there was talk that Goldberg would retain the title at WrestleMania, And then at SummerSlam, which I know from WrestleMania to the SummerSlam, that's a million miles away, the plan was going to be to have the match then, and then have Roman beat Goldberg and to become the Universal Champion. So hold off till then. So have Goldberg beat somebody at WrestleMania just to get them over the line, and then they'll do something else a little bit further down the line. However, Goldberg said, according to Wrestle Talk, that I'm not going to add any more dates to my current deal. Like, I'm done after this. So the decision was made to take the belt off him. So all you can do is put him in there with somebody dominant and have them beat Goldberg for the belt. Braun Strowman is an imposing figure, so I guess if Goldberg wants to save some face, losing to Braun Strowman isn't a bad decision at all. Putting the belt on Braun Strowman isn't the worst of decisions that could happen, but the whole reason that came about is because Goldberg just doesn't want to play anymore. So he had to drop the belt. So now Braun Strowman is the WWE Universal Champion. Where we will go with the Braun Strowman era is yet to be seen. It very much feels like this is kind of like a patch, just like a patch to get us through a little while. It doesn't feel like this is the long-term strategy. But it's great to see Braun winning the Universal title. It's great to see him in a title match where he doesn't flub it. I mean, that's nice as well. Regarding WWE's plans going forward in terms of tapings, we talked about this briefly yesterday on the news. There is some vagueness around Florida's shutdown that WWE look to be taking advantage of. So non-essential businesses have been told to close up in Florida, leaving like pharmacies and supermarkets and such still open. WWE can claim that as an entertainment company, they are providing essential business. So the plan is that WWE is going to be back in the Performance Center by Friday. Initial plans were to do live episodes of SmackDown and Raw and NXT, but with the nature of everything that is going on, the decision has been made, according to Fightful Select and Dave Meltzer, to tape several episodes of their flagship programs over a few days. That way they've got them in the can, and if anything happens regarding the shutdown, whether Florida go, "No, get home, you naughty boys and girls," if they do that, because that is how the governor of Florida talks. "Hello, I'm the governor of Florida. Get yourself home, you naughty. You're not an essential business. You're not a key business like Timpson's." That's a good joke if you get it and you're from the UK. So the plan is that they'll tape a whole bunch of episodes in case something goes awry. In terms of how they are protecting the WWE roster during this period, according to PW Insider, there are plans for when they get back into the Performance Center to change the ropes, the canvas and the apron and the turnbuckles for every single match. So once the match happens, strip the ring down, put a whole new ring setup back in, record the next match, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. I hope they've bought some washing detergent because there's going to be a lot of washing going into those washing machines. And I hope they bought some quarters as well to put in the washing machines. That's an America joke. So the plan is that it's going to be quite a laborious process to get through, but it's keeping the roster as safe as possible during the pandemic. So at least we're getting wrestling still from WWE continuing on. There was talk that there'd be a shutdown. Doesn't look like that shutdown's happening. They're just going to crack on. And what about other wrestling companies during the pandemic? What are their plans? Well, we know that AEW is recorded and set for the next few weeks. In fact, we mentioned this the other day, they've got everything taped pretty much up to Double or Nothing. So the TNT Championship tournament has already played out, at least up until the semi-finals. And the plan being that if everything's all right and back to normal, the finals will be at Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. So we haven't had a lot of AEW based news because the company is kind of in shutdown at the moment whilst the TV tapings just play out. They've kind of got the right idea. Like, everything's in the can. They can just kick back, go into self-isolation and do what they do. Impact Wrestling, the little wrestling promotion that could, is still carrying on. And we understand from ProWrestling.net that they're coming to the end of a big block of tapings right now on TV. The plan is that they are going to be heading to Skyline Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. They've put this out there for the world, according to ProWrestling.net. And they're going to record about 6 to 8 weeks worth of Impact tapings at this studio over the next week or so. We understand as well from Busted Open Radio that Tommy Dreamer has been there already. They've already made some early progress to start these tapings, I understand. And so Impact Wrestling / TNA Wrestling, the wrestling promotion that just keeps on keeping on through all of this. If you are looking for some fresh wrestling that isn't affected by the pandemic, then Major League Wrestling are still playing their massive log of taped wrestling shows, and it's all fresh new stuff. So if you wanted some new wrestling with a live crowd, MLW is the place to go right now. Bobby Lashley, but not Bobby Lashley. Who's that jumping out the sky? Not my words, the words of a parachuter with amnesia, and the words of Rey Mysterio's old theme music. It's not as funny when Adam's not here cringing. I know. And the words of Rey Mysterio's theme music back in the day. And Rey Mysterio was speaking to a news outlet about his absence from WrestleMania 36. He said that he drove from San Diego to Orlando for the tapings, and when he got there he was feeling unwell, so the doctors advised him to not take part in the tapings. This is part of the tests that they've been doing before everybody enters the performance center. Normally they get a temperature check and just a general well-being check before they go in, and Ray basically didn't pass that, so he was told, you know what, just sit this one out, be fine. See you in a bit. Ray has since said that he feels no symptoms of any pandemic-related illnesses, and he's feeling fine. He's in isolation right now. When he'll be back on TV, we don't know. He was going to be part of one or two plans for WrestleMania, either fighting for the US Championship against Andrade, or possibly in a triple threat tag team match, teaming with Humberto Carrillo to face the Street Profits and Andrade and Garza. Both really exciting matches, neither of which probably happened. So see you soon, Ray. See you down the road, brother. That is it for your news for Wednesday. On the Cultaholic YouTube channel right now, you can watch our reactions to night 1 of WrestleMania 36. Night 2 is on the way later today. I've got to tip the cap to Sam and Owen, our editing supremos, who we basically just gave Sam and Owen all our WrestleMania reactions and went, there you go, pick it out of that lot. And they put together some incredible videos through it. And if you get time today, please tip the hat to Sam and Owen, our amazing video production guys who just turned this round. And just in general, they're just lovely eggs. So give them some love if you see them on the internet today. I will speak to you very, very soon. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.